Bob, Rob, and Ram. Nobody asked, but we give you our opinions. Acknowledge us like Roman Reigns to all his minions. Coming from the grave like our name was Undertaker. Women's wrestling is cool, but where the hell is Britt Baker? Coherence takes abandon all hope. We talk shit like Ricochet from the top rope. We are marks, sometimes we're friendly. Sometimes we show our whole ass like Mandy. We are discussing what is the latest. Jericho is the GOAT, but Sid is our favorite. We are marks. We are marks.
What's going on, Marks? Welcome back to the podcast, the We Are Marks podcast. Why? Because we are not toxic. We are Marks. Rob and Bob, what's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on, America?
Let's get ready to rumble!
Let's get ready. I'm your host. My name is Ram. I switched it up that time. I gave you guys the floor before I was willing to talk because I got a lot that I want to get off my chest. First and foremost, let me ask you guys a question. I want to paint you a scenario, okay? We had, let's say, Paul Heyman helps Logan Paul at the expense of Braun Breaker, okay? This is the scenario. Just let it play out in your head, okay? And then for the next 4 weeks, we don't hear from Braun Breaker. We don't see Braun Breaker. We have completely lost sight of the story itself. And then Braun Breaker comes back and just like, I am a winner, Paul Heyman. You're right. I am the winner. How would you guys feel about that situation?
I feel like we're not talking about Braun Breaker and Logan Paul.
What gives you that idea? Because, gentlemen, this is 4 weeks now. 4 weeks. And I already know you guys told me last week you can't justify it either. It's making you upset just as much as it's making me upset. But this is ridiculous that 4 weeks, the story I was most interested in coming off of that great pay-per-view, and for 4 weeks, we don't hear a damn thing from any of them. And then they did pop up on Collision. I watched Collision this week. 100% just because of this particular reason. They said Fletcher and Takeshita had a tag team match. I want to see what happens. I watched the match. I went, wow, nothing happened. And then Okada came out. And I was like, okay, maybe something. And it was just, I expressed to you guys 4 weeks ago that if Takeshita just comes back and is just rolling around with Don Callis still, I can't get behind it anymore. I can't. You're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot. And we don't hear from you for 4 weeks. And then you just show up with Don Callis again. It makes no sense to me. This is when I say AEW is bad at storytelling. You're picking a needle out of a haystack and going, hey, what about this? This is storyline 101. Imagine the main characters in the first book just don't show up for the second book. It's ridiculous.
I got nothing, Ram. I completely agree with you. I was more excited about this story and how it was going to shake out and what Takeshita was going to do more than MJF winning the title. We've seen MJF win the title. I wanted to see Takeshita at least acknowledge the fact that Don Callis does not care about him. And it didn't happen.
Go ahead, Rob. Sorry.
It's bad storytelling. As Ram said, it's bad storytelling. It's something that should not have happened. Like, if that's the story you wanted to tell, and I know they don't have a pay-per-view until March. I get that. But if that's the story you want to tell, and that's the story that was coming out of that pay-per-view, it should have been followed up on something. Anything other than what we got. We had to wait 3 weeks just for them to acknowledge the fact that something happened. And then, as Ram said, it was on Collision. Come on, it's Collision. Who cares? Who cares about Collision? I wish it was one of our things coming into 2026. It was our wish list that they would follow up on things. And to this point, they haven't really followed up on anything except for Brody King kind of emerging as a contender. That's it.
He's going to job out real quick.
He is.
Yeah, I'm pretty frustrated with AEW, the show in general right now. I don't want to get off too many tangents if we have other AEW topics, but on this one in particular, just the follow up has not really been there. Takeshita has been on and off the show. I mean Okada, like you pointed out, not at all. And then the dual storylines are frustrating me. It's not very clear who the Don Callis family has now split off because there's so many of them and they're feuding with different people on the show. Moxley's bringing up Okada again because he beat him. I just wish there was a little bit more clear direction. Like you said, the Okada Takeshita feud was something that we've been talking about now for 6 months. I feel like it was in the summer that we started mentioning this direction. And I feel like we're still somehow use Paul Heyman's analogy, in the third inning. We haven't really gotten anywhere with it. And, even at the end of Collision or whenever that segment was, like I said, I didn't watch Collision live, but I did see the segment with Okada. It was like moves the needle 2 inches. It wasn't even a segment that really got into a direction. He came out and Takeshita got mad.
I'm 100% with long-term storytelling. 100% I'm with that. But this is not even that. This is not long-term. We have been stuck in mud on this story for 3 months. We've been stuck in mud. We've been in the exact same position we are right now. We know Takeshita and Okada don't like each other. And we know no matter what, Don Callis gets between them, and it's all good. It's all good. But to me, we're ready for Takeshita to break apart and break out. And we're stuck in this position. I really thought coming off of that pay-per-view, we were finally going to get there. And we're still not there. We're just not. And I don't see at this point, I thought Takeshita was going to just punch him in the face. I thought that would have been great. Now we're moving somewhere. We're getting to where we want to be. We didn't get that. We still have him doing the same stuff. So at this point, I don't even know why I care. Because to me, the guy I want to be the babyface looks like a goddamn idiot. And as good as he is, being in a tag team with Kyle Fletcher is not helping.
And that's the problem, too. You added Kyle Fletcher. The 2 young guys from AEW last year that were like, they can be breakout stars. They can be the future of that brand, of that business. You put in a tag team and are being made to look like stooges following a guy who obviously does not care about them, and they won't say anything about it. Like, what are we doing with them?
I try to be lenient or softer with AEW sometimes. I feel like the conversation with AEW when it goes online becomes very, very negative in a lot of cases about how AEW sucks. I don't feel like the show sucks, but I think, Ram, you said it there. It's you stop caring about certain things because it gets dragged on and on and on. And that's how I feel. I feel like the show across the board, this is an example of a bigger problem, is there's not things to get invested in. You're watching a show. Shows are good. Shows maybe aren't as good, but it's not a bad show. It's just I don't have a feeling towards it. I'm just watching it because, and the wrestling's good. We said that for years, but it's not a show that you're invested in. Like, I need to watch this. I mean, sometimes I find myself, I watch it because we do this show, not because it's what I would be putting on the television if I was choosing anything. I need to watch Dynamite so I can talk about it with you guys.
So, and I get a lot of people on our social media saying that, oh, it's a young company and stuff like that. This is no longer a young company. All right. To put it in perspective, when WWE started Raw was in 1994. In their 7th year, which is now, it's now the 7th year for AEW. They started in 2019. In their 7th year, it was 2001. If this crap would have happened in 2001 and there would have been the internet and WWE, people would have lost their goddamn minds. This is no longer a young company we're talking about. What?
Yeah. I said WCW would have won.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, It's time to figure this
Well,
stuff
the
out,
show,
guys.
It's not
the
a young
show is.
company problem. I agree with that. It's adding flavor to what you're watching. I mean, you look at this match. We're taping on Wednesday. I mean, the example I have in my head. Tonight is going to be FTR against whatever the hell their names are, the two goons from the Don Callis family. I do not care about those guys at all. There is not 1 ounce of me that cares. What is it? David Dutch and Doyle or Davis and Doyle or something. I don't
Davis
care.
and Doyle.
I do not care about these guys. I don't care. I don't care that the one guy was in TNA or whatever his name was. I don't care. And that is a huge problem on the show right now. You're going to get a good match because it's FTR, but you don't really care because how could you care about these guys?
Well, I mean, to your point to that, I mean, last week's Dynamite was main evented by Kevin Knight versus Swerve Strickland. The match served no purpose other than to have a match between Kevin Knight and Swerve Strickland. Like, what was the point of that match? What story did it tell? It was a good match.
I actually wrote down main event was good, but I mean, whatever.
Right.
That was literally the feeling that I
it was
had.
nice to see Kevin Knight in a main event, but what purpose did it serve? Nothing.
They need to find ways to make you care. If these are the people you have, I don't, who knows where the people that we do care about are. I mean, Mercedes is now, she's been gone. I guess she's going to take a break. People are injured. You can't have all these people that you care about not on the show and then have a bunch of people that really aren't over. And that's part of the problem. I don't know why, what's going on with Mercedes. She's now off. She's one of the 2 women that anybody really cares about. And you got the other one who's doing a clown act now with the conglomeration. I mean, that's part of
Tony
it too.
Storm.
I mean, when's the last time we've said, Statlander, she's trying, but she's not going to get over by just doing these matches.
But,
I mean,
and again, here's the thing: your women's champion that should be pushed, if she's going to be is in a trios right now. Like, everything's just a mess over there.
Yeah, there's no cohesion. And it's a little frustrating, but I would like to talk a little bit on the bright spots of AEW this week. And one big one for me was having Taz back on commentary. I love that guy. And he was kind of feeding in a little bit to the ops situation with Hook, which he doesn't normally talk too much about Hook being his son anyway, generally. But he was kind of playing a heel a little bit on commentary this week, and he was talking about it quite a bit, as much as, about how he didn't like Swerve for what he did to his son and things like that. So I'm kind of interested to see what they're doing with that because, hey, there's a reason Taz is back, and there's a reason he's clearly talking more like a heel than he was the last time we saw Taz. And also, I absolutely loved the Taz Explains It All segment that they had explaining the submission transition from MJF. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I definitely think they need to utilize Taz more. I mean, even if you wanted to keep Danielson as commentary, I know, not everybody's in love with it, but Taz as a manager or in some capacity would be added value to the program.
I think Taz is best when he's being that pseudo heel. I mean, it was funny because he was kissing Don Callis's ass, and this man hates Don Callis with a passion. Like, back in the 2000s, he could have ripped Don Callis's throat out. So it's kind of funny just to see him kind of kissing Don Callis's ass and stuff like that, and going back to telling people, well, they were never actually in a ring, so they have no idea what they're talking about. I enjoy kind of the pseudo heel Taz.
I like when there's a heel commentator, to be honest.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
I think that makes it a lot better. I don't know why the direction changed where you needed to have everyone be good guys, but I think it's added in any company when the color commentator adds a little flair of heel.
I mean, that's why I think Nigel was so good at it too, because Nigel was kind of that pseudo heel. He wouldn't necessarily root for the heels, but
that was my favorite part of when Jesse Ventura was on the show, because he was a great heel commentator. I mean, he had some screw ups. I'm not saying it has to be him. I don't think you can trust him, but teach somebody how to be Jerry Lawler from 25 years ago.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So I want to talk a little bit more about my Collision experience this week because I've been told by you guys over the past few weeks that I should tune into Collision because A, it's a good show and they are developing stories over there. So I just want to first start out by saying there was exactly 10 seconds of relevant storyline things that happened on this show. It's not enticing to make me want to tune in next week. And you know what really didn't make me enticed to want to watch next week was Paul White, the Big Show, on commentary. I didn't think there could be any more elevator music than Tony Schiavone. And then the Big Show was on commentary. Man, that's going to put butts in the seats. Am I right?
I mean, he's on commentary, so the butts in the seats won't hear it.
He doesn't always do commentary
no.
on Collision, right?
No, you picked a really bad week to watch Collision, man. I'm telling.
I guess so. Hey, I do enjoy seeing Julia Hart. I do enjoy seeing Julia Hart, but not enough for me to want to tune into Collision. That 10 seconds of relevant storyline.
Yeah, you picked a bad week. I don't.
Hey,
Okay.
to be fair though, this is
Okay,
why
guys.
you can't have shitty shows because who knows when this is the first time someone's going to tune in. Rams,
You got a
the
good
first
point.
time viewer, and now he may never watch Collision again.
Exactly. You lost me. You had me with CM Punk, and then you lost me. And I tried to come back, and you pushed me away. And my feelings are hurt now, and I'm not sure I want to come back to Collision.
Give it a try in 3 more years.
Yeah, maybe in 3 more years. All right, guys. I mean, that's all I really have. Other than Penelope Ford, 87 days from Tommy John surgery. Someone teach me. There's some professional ball players who would love to know how you could do anything after 87 days off Tommy John surgery.
Something tells me she wasn't really hurt.
Very interesting.
I know that never happens.
They
in
just
wrestling,
wanted
but
Marina Shafir and Megan Bain to lose. They just wanted that. They needed that pairing to lose.
I think they did.
Wrestlers heal quicker.
I don't think they wanted Penelope Ford to be on pay-per-view. I think that was the thing.
What's wrong with Penelope Ford?
I mean, Penelope Ford's great until she wrestles.
All right. Well, anyway, you guys have anything further from AEW? No. We'll see if they develop their storylines next week. I'm not counting on it. So let's talk about WWE and let's talk about some storylines. We had Saturday night's main event this past weekend, and it was an okay show. It was an okay show. We'll talk a little bit about it. Starting off with Rio and Io defending their tag team championships against Roxanne and Liv Morgan. We're still toiling around in the same situation where we have 4 of our top women's wrestlers pigeonholed in some tag team for some reason. But, they're always going to deliver, and I thought they did.
Yeah, it was a good match. I just, and then we got to Raw, and they're still in the same boat. So, I mean, we got to move on from this eventually, don't we? I'm hoping the Royal Rumble shakes this up a little bit, but we have to move on from this.
Yeah, the women's side right now is interesting. I mean, it kind of feels like the things we were talking about in AEW. It's sort of a never-ending story that I assume will get to the point. But to like Rob said, we got back to Raw and we were kind of same point we were before the match.
Yeah. So that's about it for that match. There's not much more to it, like you guys said. I mean, we're not developing a storyline here quite yet. Hopefully we do. Don't know. Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu battle to a no contest. The match never actually got started, but it was a very entertaining way to start the show, I thought.
I tell you what, I know people don't like schmaz finishes, but if a match never starts, I mean, it was a brawl throughout the whole arena. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great way to keep both guys looking strong and for Drew McIntyre to be Drew McIntyre. I have no problems with what happened there.
The only problem I had, I did think it was a hot start, and I get it. The only problem I had was the inclusion of Drew, because I felt like that sort of gave away what's going to happen at the Royal Rumble if he's feuding with these guys and has a match on Saturday, whenever the Royal Rumble is Sunday. Not that there was a lot of question probably about who was going to win, but you're kind of saying at some point these guys are going to wrestle, and he does have to defend it before we could get there.
Maybe we're setting up a elimination chamber.
Possibility.
They do that for a WrestleMania spot now. Never mind. I forgot they do that. That was it. It was fun. A match that was added pretty late. Like I said, there would be 4 matches. AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura had one more final match, and this was by far the best one that they've had. They actually just let these two go out and wrestle, and it was great. It was so great, and it's breaking my heart for what's about to come. But the match was fantastic.
It was fantastic. We all know AJ's not going to make it past this year. He already said that, but it was the best match they had in WWE. And it's really sad to see because Shinsuke doesn't have much left either. We're watching 2 of arguably the all-time greats go at it one more time. And it was just sit back, watch, and enjoy the show.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a shame with Shinsuke, just because I always feel like what could have been with him, they just never could use him right. I don't know why he didn't win the title at that WrestleMania. They decided not to, and it sort of felt like the Balor match with Punk a week ago, where here's a guy that you really don't see much of. He's lost, I would say, a fair share of credibility because he's not on the show. And when he is on the show, it's not like he's winning or seen as a main event guy. And then he goes out and has that match. We all knew AJ was great. Not surprised at his performance, but you see a Nakamura and then you're like, damn, can we do a little bit more with him? So
I would also like to point out, and I know it's a little minor, but them on commentary talking about New Japan and what they did on other companies and stuff like that, it wasn't even pseudo. They basically said exactly their whole lineage. I thought it was nice to give them the respect that they deserve.
Yeah, they've been doing that. And if you believe Nakamura's Instagram posts, we're about to see the end of
I hope not.
Styles. No, but more on Finn Balor to come later because he definitely bears mentioning, obviously. The main event of this show, Saturday night's main event, was a fatal 4-way match that was won by one Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn moving on to the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, where he is very over. Like I said, he is going to challenge Drew McIntyre yet again. Did Drew McIntyre said he's 13-0 or something? Did he tell Sami Zayn they fought 13 times, 13-0? I mean, this is actually legitimately Sami Zayn's gonna pull off a miracle here in Saudi Arabia, or this is a coffin. This is it. This is a tombstone. You're done. There's no shot in hell you will ever be world champion in this company.
Yeah, match was good. It was a fatal 4-way. I like how Trick Williams was kind of doing that weird heelish thing of trying to sucker punch a win. That was nice. So good. I will always say Trick Williams as a character is arguably one of the best you'll find around. Sami Zayn, some people aren't meant to be champions. They're meant to be underdogs from the underground that are always right there but never finish. And I feel like Sami is that person. I don't think he wins at the Royal Rumble. I don't think he ever becomes champion until about 5 years down the road and he gets a Kofi Kingston moment.
Oh boy.
Well, you know what this is? You know what this is, guys? This is the Kevin Owens spot. I'm pretty sure Kevin Owens has been challenging for the world title for 3 Rumbles in a row.
Yes, he has.
And now he's hurt. So now it's Sammy's job. This is
that
the
is
Kevin Owens
exactly
spot.
what I thought when he won the match. I'm like, oh, they put him in the Kevin Owens role. We just need a feud for a couple months.
We need someone who's going to give us a banger match on a big pay-per-view, and that's what you're getting.
Well, now that Drew got his breadcrumb, he's kind of taking his spot too. So, Now, I mean, the match was okay. Trick did feel, I thought, a little bit of an outlier with those guys. He's not quite as good of a wrestler, but in that kind of setting, his character's great, and they can do something with him. But I thought that as a fan, I was rooting for Randy Orton because I just think he's been great. I wish they would do more with him, but I did not anticipate him winning the match, but I was kind of hoping he would. But yeah.
Did you guys see before the match somebody wanted him to sign a freaking action figure while he was walking down the ring? And he's just like, no. Like,
well, I'm pretty sure he said he'd be back.
He said after the match, yeah. But he just had that look on his face, like, for real.
I think it was a young gal.
It wasn't young enough.
I thought this was like a 12-year-old girl. That
I thought it was like 60. Anyway,
whatever. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. If Randy Orton doesn't want to sign a fucking autograph, Randy Orton doesn't need to sign a fucking autograph. Okay. All right. Let's talk a little bit about Monday Night Raw. Most notably was Finn Balor. Coming off of this, we had AJ Styles challenge CM Punk, or CM Punk challenge AJ Styles, or maybe they challenged each other, or maybe neither one actually made a challenge, but it led to a match anyway. And it was for the world title. And it was another reminder of how good AJ Styles is. And this is all coming full circle here at the Royal Rumble, which we'll get to. But another fantastic match between AJ Styles and CM Punk. Soiled, ruined, tarnished by Finn Balor, who earlier in the show came up to CM Punk and basically was like, I didn't give you your flowers. You deserve flowers. Thank you for the match and thank you for the opportunity. And CM Punk told him you should ditch the Judgment Day, which obviously rubbed Liv Morgan the wrong way. Liv Morgan's like, what you doing, bro? And then he comes out and gave a top shelf beatdown to CM Punk. What do you guys think this moment means? Do you think that we are going to get a Finn Balor push, or are we going to get one more loss for Finn Balor in the world title and never be seen in the world title picture again?
I think the latter. I think that this is an opportunity for Punk to rack up a win at probably the Elimination Chamber. I don't think they're adding it to the Rumble. I was a little disappointed. I was excited that Finn Balor was he was a babyface the week before. That got killed immediately. I blame that idiot Adam Pearce who told Finn that there was no way he could declare when we've seen people following Raw declare. I'm sure there's going to be more on SmackDown, but apparently he couldn't declare. So I blame him. I think Punk's got a gripe with him too for getting his ass kicked because of it.
Can we talk about this real quick? I think that we should talk about this. How exactly does the Royal Rumble work? Is it like Little League where it's like, here's Little League signups you have until this date or your kid can't play? Or do you just have to walk out there and go, I declare for the Royal Rumble? Is that how? And like as soon as 30 people declare that they're in the Royal Rumble, that's it? They're good?
I declared that I was entering the Royal Rumble on
Right.
TikTok before Brock Lesnar did. So I think I should be in the Royal Rumble before Brock Lesnar. That's all I'm saying. I know I wasn't on Pat McAfee and saying it, but I did declare before him. So I don't know. Remember when there used to be matches that you had to win to get into the Rumble? And now it's just people being like, I'm entering the Rumble.
Well, and that kind of goes to my point. If there is one non-wrestler in the Royal Rumble, if there's a celebrity, a basketball player, a backstage personnel, I don't care who, if there's one in this Royal Rumble and Finn Balor's not, how did that happen? They had to have reached out, right? They had to have been like, hey, you want to do the Royal Rumble this year?
No, they declared for the Royal Rumble before Finn did.
I don't get it.
I guess
I also feel like this isn't
how signups work.
This isn't like now they did win the tag team match on Monday, but it's not like we're talking about like Tozawa wanting to enter the Royal Rumble. We are talking about Finn Balor.
Okay.
Yeah, props to Tozawa and Otis, by the way.
Dude, I told you guys Tozawa's fantastic a long time ago, and you laughed at me.
No, I agreed with you.
You
remember
laughed.
He had the greatest squash match in history against Gunther.
You scoffed at me. If Tozawa was 6 inches taller and white, he would be a world champion.
I mean, that's the story of my life. Just 6 more inches. That's all I need in anything. Cut that. Yeah, if he was white.
Or Samoan. My bad.
Samoan.
Or Samoan.
Oh, Samoan.
That's where you should come back. Tozawa Fatu.
There we go. There we go.
I don't think there's actually ever been like a Japanese. I mean, Yokozuna, but he was actually Samoan, so I don't know if he counts
Samoan.
or not.
Yeah,
I don't think there's been a Japanese champion.
Huh. Definitely was not. Yeah, definitely. I don't think so either because, Io Sky. Sorry, Io Sky.
Yeah.
Rob doesn't count the women.
Yeah, feminism doesn't exist.
So, dude, sexist, dude.
God damn, we're getting canceled for short this week.
We're an all-inclusive podcast, okay? We love women's wrestling, right? You guys love women's wrestling. I mean, I don't know where Britt Baker is, but women's wrestling is great. I love Evolution.
She's going to be never mind. I got it.
All right, so on Monday Night Raw, Braun Breaker was reinstated. I guess this is something that we never actually really talked about, was this mystery phone call David Pierce received because David Pierce? Adam Pierce. Who is David Pierce? Anyway, Adam
Pierce be better at his job than Adam.
Yeah, probably. He received this mystery phone call. I guess we never really talked about it. I mean, who do you guys think was on the other side of that call? It couldn't have been Triple H because he would have been on screen.
Definitely. No. You would at least hear him on speakerphone. He has to be there. So I'm going to go a step above him and say it was his father-in-law.
You think it was Vince?
Yep. Enough time has passed.
Do you think Vince is coming back for John Cena's last match at WrestleMania?
I think people forgot about Poopgate, and now we're getting into Vince McMahon coming back. Cut that.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, cut that. Cut that. I don't think it was Vince. I'm thinking it was Brock Lesnar.
But I guess I just.
I mean, what would Brock Lesnar say?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I guess I just don't know
I'll
what
kill
Brock
you.
could say.
But I'll kill you.
When that comes out of Brock Lesnar's mouth, you can't take it seriously. Like when he's standing in front of you, yeah. But like Brock Lesnar on the phone, it's kind of like listening to Mike Tyson. It's not really scary. It's just kind of funny.
I mean, realistically, I would think it's got to be Brock, The Rock, but I cannot imagine The Rock coming back for the Vision or Stephanie McMahon. But she was just on Saturday Night's Main Event, so I don't think it's her.
Is Adam Pierce married? Maybe it's his wife. Maybe it was his wife.
I'm trying to think of who it is. It has to be somebody like his superior. So it's either The Rock or Nick Khan. Because you're right. If it was Triple H, he'd definitely be on screen telling him to his face.
Yeah, I guess I just can't imagine who it is unless, like you said, unless it's Nick Khan. Maybe we're going to get Nick Khan as an on-screen character. Oh, my gosh.
I might be onto something that it's The Rock. And he's going to – I don't know.
Well, his movie panned, so I assume he'll probably come back to wrestling to get everyone patting him on the back again. So, I mean, I'm assuming The Rock's going to be there next year's WrestleMania. He'll probably be on TV a lot because he's trying to get back in people's good graces, like he did last time.
Definitely go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that's happening.
Could be, yeah. I don't know.
Maybe it was, I don't know, Eric Bischoff or Vince Russo. I'm just trying to think of people because Adam Pearce did say it's someone that even Triple H wouldn't want to get a phone call with. So I would imagine he probably wouldn't want to talk to Vince Russo. Maybe it was like him or something, or Eric Bischoff.
I don't
Not
know.
out of
Sounds like
fear.
Vince McMahon more and more.
Maybe it was the president of the United States.
Please don't say that.
He's a
waiting
WWE
for
Hall
that.
of Famer. He's a
I know, and I'm
WWE Hall
waiting
of
for
Famer.
him just to show up.
I thought he was going to be at Cena's last match, but
I think he was. They just didn't want to admit it.
I'm pretty sure
too much
seen...
Yeah. airtime with him. Too much airtime with him in the mind. All right, let's talk about the Royal Rumble coming up this weekend. Guys, do me a favor. As you know, I'm not going to be watching the Royal Rumble live, so no spoilers. Okay, no spoilers. I don't want to come out of the Broadway musical I'm going to see and get Royal Rumble spoilers. Okay. All right, we'll do the men's and women's Royal Rumble last. So let's start it out with Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. Which way do you guys think that this is going? Sami Zayn, lucky number 14?
I think Jacob Fatu actually disqualifies and it ends in a no contest, and we can have a fatal four-way at the Elimination Chamber.
WrestleMania.
Maybe. I think this drags off for another month, and at the Elimination Chamber we get another match, probably with Jacob Fatu in it. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that I could see. I feel like Cody, Fatu, and Drew has kind of been everyone's assumption for WrestleMania. I could see that at the Chamber if they wanted to turn it into a one-on-one match. Maybe Sammy gets included as well. But I do think that Drew will walk out of the Royal Rumble with the championship, whether it's a DQ by somebody or just beating Sammy again.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't take Sammy seriously. We've talked about this for months. Love Sammy to death. World champion, not my cup of tea.
They had the opportunity to do it. They didn't do it. It was probably more than the right decision in hindsight. But if Sami Zayn was going to win the championship, he should have won it at the Elimination Chamber in Montreal against Roman Reigns when he was at the peak. Now he's not as hot as he was then, and I don't think he's getting back to that point.
No, Bob, you keep bringing that up, and I don't agree with it, but that's neither here nor there.
Surely not. Drew McIntyre retains this championship. Next up, for his career, AJ Styles puts it all on the line. He's taking on the career killer, Gunther.
This is the match. I think this is the best story, whether intentional or not, that is going on in wrestling. Potentially in some time, actually, at least in the last 6 months or so that I can remember. I think they've handled it, again, whether or not it was intentional the way they've handled it. They've made this match incredibly interesting. When the match started, everyone just assumed AJ was going to find his way out of it because no one said that AJ Styles was going to retire in February. They said 2026. We all assumed he's going to be wrestling throughout the year the way John Cena did. And the booking after that in these types of matches that make you think, oh, well, this is a match AJ would want to have if he was really going to retire. And then Nakamura's Instagram post says that. And then all of a sudden, somehow, even though the guy probably signed the contract 5 years ago, now the report's coming out, oh, AJ's contract ends in February, as if like these people wouldn't have known that forever. So it's really been nicely done. How much of it's true, we'll see. I'm going with what I thought in the beginning. I think that AJ Styles wins the match via DQ. I think Gunther is not going to be able to make him submit. I think AJ will continue this on until WrestleMania. But I think they've done a great job making this, quite frankly, the most interesting match, in my opinion, on the card. The way they handled it.
I always love when everyone's like, "Oh, this contract ends here and there," like, and then like as soon as something like this happens, actually, it ends at the end of this month. Like, so you were either lying this whole time or you have absolutely no idea. I love Uncle Dave. I agree with Bob. Low blow. AJ Styles wins, and we continue.
Very interesting take. I don't want AJ Styles to retire, obviously. When I started watching wrestling again after WrestleMania 31, AJ Styles' shirt was the first one I bought. Once he debuted, obviously that was after WrestleMania 31, but once he debuted, it was the first wrestler who made me be like, I want his shirt. He's awesome. Love AJ Styles. Big fan. We just did this retirement thing with John Cena, and I don't see why they would continue to go down that path unless it was for a purpose. I think we've gotten to see these fantastic matches from AJ Styles over the past few weeks to remind us of how good AJ Styles is, so that Gunther, the big bad boss man, can take it all away from us and just build up Gunther's heel that much farther. And we continue to build on this career killer moniker to where any legend of the game who's still in it, anybody who's getting up there in age who's still in it, Gunther's hunting you down now at this point. It is his mission to get rid of these old timers, as he put it. So as much as I don't want AJ Styles to retire, I think it makes a lot of sense for WWE and as a whole, as a television program, for Gunther to retire AJ Styles, shockingly, in a heelish way this weekend at the Royal Rumble. So I'm taking Gunther.
Can I ask a question about that? Because of the build, would it be shocking at this point?
I mean, we're talking about us expecting this retirement tour from AJ Styles until a week ago. And now all of a sudden that would be very shocking to think that we were going to have AJ Styles for all of 2026 and have it happen that quickly into the year. That would be shocking. Absolutely. Yeah. Especially if we see a 30-minute banger and then Gunther cheats to retire AJ Styles.
You want to know what? I'd be okay with it. I'd be very sad because AJ is one of my favorite. He's the reason I watched other wrestling other than WWE after WCW folded. Like, he's the reason people watched TNA. He's the reason most people knew what New Japan was. And I'd be okay with all of this as long as Gunther gets to retire Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Well, the shame of AJ is, I know people, obviously with Cena, people were sad, but Cena wasn't really on the show. I mean, losing AJ would make the show worse. Losing John Cena, he wasn't on the show all the time, and he hadn't been around as much for the last couple of years. I feel like AJ would really be unfortunate, not only because I, love AJ as much as you guys. I think he's great, but I think he is a great part of the current product.
I mean,
and it would make it worse.
Bob, 2 months ago, we were saying that AJ needs to go to AEW because he's jobbing to Dominic Mysterio. I mean, right before this, he was in a nothing tag team with Dragon Lee. So it's not like they've been using him properly.
No, I agree. But they have been the last couple of weeks, and it's made the show better.
True. That is true. I just, to sit there and be like, oh, they'll be losing like a great thing. Like, the only reason it's been great is because it's been AJ's retirement tour. And honest to God, I forget who he faced. It probably was we haven't even really seen him before the John Cena match. Like, that was basically his coming out party, his resurgence, So
yeah.
I mean, it's not like he was used as this phenomenal guy. He was basically a jobber. Like
Well,
that's what they put him as.
Yeah. Well, now that they've given us a taste of having AJ on, I kind of want it to continue, especially when they have sort of teased some of these other matches. Now, an interesting thing is AJ did say his WWE career, so who knows? Maybe AJ will be on TNA or something.
No, I think he said his actual career. And
It's-
that's another
he's gone
thing.
back
I
and
don't think
forth because he did say on Monday or the previous Monday he said WWE career, but I think
Did
it would
he?
be kind of he definitely said that, but I don't think it would be the greatest idea in the world for him to have this retirement end of his career and then hop on TNA on Thursday.
That's why I don't think he's losing this match too, because I'm pretty sure he's going to win that TNA belt from Frankie Kazarian. Because I do believe that's a match he wants one more time.
I guess we'll see. Hope you guys are right. But I don't think it does a lot of good for Gunther, and he's your long-term guy.
Well, he damn sure can't lose. Gunther can't lose. Like,
yeah, it could be a...
That would be the
Yeah,
worst thing. If AJ wins this match clean, that would be the dumbest thing they could possibly do.
I'm thinking Gunther gets frustrated because he can't put him away, and he either grabs a chair or kicks him in the gonads.
Hey, maybe Finn Balor got involved in that AJ Punk match because he was helping AJ Styles. Maybe AJ's turning heel, and we'll get the Bullet Club like Rob wanted.
I'm all for that too. Why not?
That'd be pretty interesting.
They could, I mean, they could do something goofy like Gunther fakes, tries to play off their first match, something with the tap out, but call it a tap out, something. But he can't just lose clean.
Yeah. All right, guys. Men's and women's Royal Rumble. These winners will find themselves in a world title match at WrestleMania. We'll start it out with the women. We got a big field here. I'm not sure how many can legitimately win. A lot of times there's like 4 or 5 that we could see. I think there's less this year, but what do you guys think? Rob, you can get first prediction on this.
I think Maxine Dupree wins the Royal Rumble. And at the Elimination Chamber, Natty beats up Stephanie Vaquer and Maxine and Natty for the title at Mania.
I'm not watching WrestleMania.
So I don't know where she's been. I don't know what's going on with Stephanie Vaquer, but I do believe that Bianca Belair does win this. I think Bianca Belair wins. I think she comes back. She's number 27, that coveted 27 spot, gets a big pop, and I think she wins the Rumble. I'm taking Bianca Belair.
Rob, Stephanie Vaquer was on Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yeah, I still don't know what's going on with her. I know she's there, but what is going on with her?
Well, yeah.
Well, she's facing.
She wants to fight with Big Mommy Cool.
Yeah.
She's facing Raquel for the title in a street fight on Monday.
I don't think it's for. Is it for the title?
Yeah, it's for the title.
Is it for the title? Okay.
Yeah,
I think
Raquel's gonna win.
Yeah, that's my prediction. I think Liv to me.
I think she does.
I think Liv has to win the Royal Rumble. I think she's it's her time to win it. If Bianca's going to challenge Jade, they can do that at the Chamber. They can do that at another time. I think Liv has been teased winning it many times. I think she right now is, to me, the all-around. She's the woman on the show I care the most about when she's on TV. I think she's the one that should be in the title match. I think she's done the best job on Raw. I think I think Raquel's going to win the title. And I think that makes an interesting match at Mania with the split Judgment Day. Maybe, Roxanne gets in the mix, picks sides. That's kind of how I foresee it to go.
I completely forgot that Jade Cargill was the SmackDown champion. That makes more sense for Bianca.
I think so did Road Dogg or whoever writes SmackDown as well.
She just comes out and says, "I'm that bitch," and spikes the microphone.
I just
That is her
completely
whole
forgot
thing.
she was champion, man. I
That is her whole thing. Other
forgot.
than that, if you want to know what storyline she's involved in, check out Instagram. She's got you. Yeah, I'm totally in agreement with Bob. Actually, I think Raquel's going to win the title next week, and I think Liv wins the Royal Rumble. I considered possibly Roxanne, but I think Liv is the choice here, and Roxanne, being like the puppy dog who has to choose which parent to go to. I mean, Liv is, as Bob said, and I said it when she came back, she's just a star. She is an absolute. The show is better for having her on it, and she's the most interesting character in the women's division, honestly, and she has been for quite a while. Especially because Rhea Ripley is, I don't know, hasn't developed much or done much in a couple of years now. I was actually kind of annoyed and sick of Rhea Ripley before. So, Liv is the choice for me. And especially when Raquel wins the title on Monday night, I think it makes the most sense. And that's the match I want to see. It's kind of like Diesel and Shawn Michaels back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a perfect example.
Hopefully Shawn Michaels wins this one.
Yeah, and also, Bob alluded to it already, but I'm pretty sure Liv has finished second in the Rumble like 3 times. Yeah. And I think she's finished second in the Elimination Chamber a couple of times too. So it's about time she gets a win here and add to some intrigue in the women's division because they need it. Granted, on the other side, as Rob stated, Bianca and Jade also makes a lot of sense. However, I haven't seen Bianca Belair. I don't know what she's doing, so not sure. All right, let's talk about the men. I guess with our predictions for the women, we also said which champion we think they were going to take on. So let's talk about the men and let me know who you think your winner would challenge at WrestleMania.
I know this is a prediction show, and I know we're supposed to, figure this out. I have no idea. I can honestly say I have no idea what they are doing. And it's really cool. Last year we sat here and we're like, there's like 4 guys that can win this, and Jey Uso ended up winning it. There's like 5 or 6 guys that I could see winning this match. And then they can, right. But that's what I'm saying. There's like at least 7 guys that I could sit there and be like, all right, if that's the direction they want to go, they can win this match. And then they could go around and say Otis wins the match. I don't know. With that being said, I really don't know. I've been going back and forth on this. I really do think, and Ram put it in my mind 3 weeks ago, and all I can think about is that is the match, is CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns. In order to get Roman Reigns in that match, he needs to win the Royal Rumble. So I'm going with Roman Reigns.
That does not need to happen to make that match happen. That does not need to happen for that. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's funny the way Rob said it, because I actually have a list here of all the guys I've gone through that could win, that I thought might win the Royal Rumble. I started with Cody. Didn't think that was the direction. I don't even know if Cody's in the Rumble. He's doing the Fat 2 stuff. Then I thought maybe Sami Zayn would lose and then win the Rumble. Don't think they're going to do that. Then for a little bit, I thought Braun Breaker, but I don't think that's the direction they're going post that Punk match with Braun Breaker, so I eliminated him. Then I went to Gunther, maybe after a post-AJ loss. Don't think that's the direction they're going. I think he's going to face AJ at WrestleMania. Then I thought Brock Lesnar and CM Punk. That's a big-name match. They like the big-name matches. Don't think they're going to pull the trigger on Brock Lesnar. Then Ram had said the other week, Obafemi. Don't think they're going to commit to that. Then I thought Seth Rollins might be coming back. Don't think Seth Rollins is going to come back after further thought. So I finally landed on the Tribal Chief. Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble, and he is going to face CM Punk.
That's just so... And I alluded to it already, and I've said it before. There's absolutely no reason that Roman Reigns needs to win the Royal Rumble. There's no fucking reason for it. All Roman Reigns has to do is come back and start some shit and we have the match. The match has already been teased many times. This triple threat match has been teased. We don't need him to win the Royal Rumble to get there. So I don't want that to happen. That's probably what's going to happen, but it's not what I want to see happen. What I do want to see is somebody random, and not random in the Jey Uso kind of random, but like somebody who is absolutely a main event player who's never been in the main event. And that's what I want to see. And do I want it to be Obafemi? Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely do. Are they going to do that with an NXT guy? I mean, probably not. Absolutely, probably not. So this is where I'm at. My head's spinning right now. It's spinning in a circle because I, like you guys, have absolutely no idea who's going to win the Royal Rumble. I legitimately don't. And because the both of you just picked Roman Reigns, I'm going to take the next most likely candidate and say it's going to be Braun Breaker. And that prediction just came to me. That is how much I've had to think about this, and I've thought about it a lot. And there's still part of me who thinks Sami Zayn is going to lose to Drew McIntyre and get his ass kicked after the match and then limp his ass into the Royal Rumble and get the crowd behind him. And he's going to win this match, and he's going to challenge Drew for a 15th time. You talk about a 15-time world champion. How about Owen 15-time world champion? It could be Sami Zayn. This is a special year, in my opinion, because I legitimately have no idea. And it landed me on Braun Breaker, which is not somewhere I want to be either. But I do feel like it's going to be one of the two or Brock Lesnar.
And I mean, like I said, I know last year we were excited because there was 4 guys that we thought could win the Rumble. There are 10 guys in my head that I can sit here and say legitimately would win the Rumble this year. And
Triple H might
Ram's
win it.
point, and I know I said Roman, I'm not changing my mind. All it takes is for Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes to sit there and say, I want a title shot. And the way CM Punk's been going is saying, you want it? You got it at WrestleMania. Like, so maybe Roman doesn't need to win this. I would like to see Obafemi win this match. I would like for them to put Obafemi in that main event spot against Drew McIntyre and win the belt right off the bat. That would be something special.
Because I'm saying, like, he had that Saturday night's main event with Cody Rhodes, and the energy was palpable. Like these two face-to-face felt like a WrestleMania main event, and perhaps Triple H saw this, and the WWE creative team saw this, and they said, This is great. This is working already. He's not even on the show yet, and this is already working. Maybe we can do this. Let's switch it to Drew. Could be.
And to your point, that Saturday night's main event, that wasn't a Cody showcase. That was an Obafemi beatdown until Drew McIntyre showed up. Like, he looked like he was squashing Cody Rhodes until Drew showed up. So maybe they go that route. Maybe they take Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is a big name, though. Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre doesn't do much for me. Brock Lesnar versus anybody at this point doesn't do much for me. I'd rather have Gunther beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I mean, Braun Breaker, that story's been brewing. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso is probably going to be in the Royal Rumble again. You have all these guys that can sit there and I can say, okay, I can see them winning the Rumble. It's been a long time since I haven't had any idea what they want to do.
Yeah, this isn't me disagreeing with the Braun Breaker pick. It's just where my head's going right now is I think that Logan Paul, I think something's going to happen with the Vision that's going to cost the Vision at the Royal Rumble because, Logan Paul's genius game plan that he'd been thinking over, I guess, for some period of time was that the Vision should win the Royal Rumble.
And honest to God, to our tens and tens of listeners, 7 of them might hate it. Logan Paul could win the Royal Rumble. Like he could.
Well, I'm curious. I think that Braun Breaker's going to face Brock at WrestleMania. I think that Brock's going to come out and eliminate him. But it would be Logan Paul's probably going to do something screw this thing up for the Vision. I'm hopeful that it's not going to lead to Braun Breaker versus Logan Paul. I'm not sure how that match would go, but I do think that there's going to be some continuity from that. But to the Obafemi point, at the very least, I would like to see him not only lead in eliminations in this match, but I think he should break the record. I think he should do something crazy if he's not going to win the whole thing.
Yeah. No, you make Oba look strong. You have him eliminate 20 people, and the other 10 that are left have to get him out.
Have we got?
And I also hope that all these things that we've talked about, all these little ideas of who can be in it, I hope that they follow through with it. I think Sammy being in the Rumble is a good idea. You can add, all these little story things that we're talking about would be great.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie, with as star-studded as this Rumble is, and I know Sammy's over in Saudi and stuff like that. If he wins the Rumble, I'm gonna feel just as let down as Jey Uso last year.
Nah, don't agree with that take.
That's fine.
I can't. I'm not high on Sammy winning, but the one benefit of Sammy is he's a much better wrestler than Jey Uso.
No doubt. But like, as star-studded as this is, I feel like it'll be a letdown, at least in my eyes.
I mean, every Royal Rumble star-studded because everyone's in it.
I mean, there's going to be part of me that's going to be disappointed if Kit Wilson doesn't win, but
Kit Wilson. I cannot wait for Kit Wilson's WrestleMania entrance just to see what it is. All right, guys. I have question, and it's for 1 point each. I need a surprise entrant for the men and women's.
Surprise entrant in the women's Royal Rumble is going to be Molly Holly. And for the men in Saudi Arabia, who's that actor? The Saudi Arabian actor they always bring up on the show and the crowd goes crazy. He's the most famous actor in Saudi Arabia. That guy.
I have no idea, dude.
That guy's going to be in the Royal Rumble.
I'm going to put most famous Saudi actor, and I'll find out his name.
The guy who played Veer in the movie.
Veer is coming. Oh, my God. What if it's Veer?
I was, yeah. For the women, I'm going to go with Brie Bella. And for the men, I'll go with Jericho.
Ah, you took mine. So I already told you Bianca Belair is going to be my women. And for the men, I'm going to go with... You already took my Jericho.
You know what? I'm going to change mine anyway, so you can have Jericho.
Sweet.
Because there was another guy I was thinking. My surprise is Seth Rollins.
Seth? I'm actually going to go with iShow Speed. Because apparently he's been training. So.
Okay, Rob. The guy's name. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
It's Ibrahim Al-Hajjaj.
Are you saying that right?
Yep. Ibrahim, Ibrahim, Al, space A-L, space H-A-J-J, A-J. Ibrahim Al-Hajjaj.
All right. Ibrahim
will be in the Royal Rumble. He will be in the Royal Rumble. He will be eliminated by Braun Breaker, and the crowd will be very disappointed. All right, guys, that's all for this week. Very much looking forward to the Royal Rumble, and we are building on our way to what should turn out to be a pretty goddamn good WrestleMania. So we are looking forward to that. All that and more on another exciting episode of We Are Marks. Enjoy wrestling.
We are Marks. We are Marks. We are Marks. brought her